What is up, internet? This is Stu G with DJ Tech Tools, and we are excited to show you guys a hands-on look at the brand new standalone sampler by Pioneer DJ, the TORAIZ SP-16. So I've had this unit now for about 3 days, and to actually cover in depth everything that it can do, it would be a couple hours long for the video. So for the sake of time, we're just going to look at the physical layout of the unit, the functionality, and the workflow. Starting on the top panel in the upper left, we have the main out for the volume as well as the headphones. Moving down from there, we have a touch strip which has 4 different modes on it. First is being pitch, note repeat, user 1, and user 2. Now with user 1 and user 2, what you're able to do is actually go into the menu and stack up to 8 different effects parameters that are all controlled at the same time with the touch strip. To the right of the touch strip, we have a fully analog Dave Smith filter. This has a drive knob on it, which allows you to overdrive the filter and get some really rich analog sounds. You have a low pass with resonance, also a high pass, and an on-off. We have 16 velocity sensitive pads, and all the parameters of the pads are fully adjustable here in the global settings. We have pad curve, pad threshold, pad sensitivity. I found the feel of the pads to be a little softer than the Push 2, but not quite as soft as the machine pads. So it's kind of a happy median right in between those two. And then below the pads, we have 4 function buttons: track, mute, slice, and scale. So each one of these 16 pads is called a track. Now inside of a track, you could have a drum one shot, you could have, let's say, an instrument one shot, and then that instrument could be played up and down on the scale by switching over to scale mode. Also within a track, you have the ability to load in a loop. By default, that loop will automatically time stretch to whatever the BPM of the project is. And then also by switching to slice mode, you could then sequence the different slices of that loop still existing within one track. Now a collection of 16 tracks is what makes up a scene. Now inside of that scene, you have the ability to sequence 16 different patterns. So inside of each project, we have the ability to hold 16 scenes. Inside of each one of those scenes, you have the ability to sequence 16 patterns and switch in between the scenes and jump to any pattern on the fly. So let's start off with scene 1, pattern 1, and just jump right into it. By selecting pattern right here, we're able just to go to our second pattern in our sequence. Let's put the mode on repeat, put hold on there, select the 16th value, maybe do a little combination between a clap. So then if I wanted to go from this breakdown into the drop of another track, I could select my scene and I'm going to drop into my scene 2, and I'm just going to dive right into pattern 5. So to the right of the pads, we have a 7-inch touchscreen, which is essentially the brains of the operation. From this one screen, we're able to access all the features that the SP-16 has to offer, from loading in a sound to manipulating that sound to adjusting global settings, arranging a full song idea, and also doing a complete mixdown. Let's first start off by looking at the track view. So we can select track. Let's just select track 4. And then one more touch, and now we're into the parameters of this track. Now I can dive into the actual playback engine. You can select reverse, start, how long the loop is it a one shot or is it on a gate? We can also adjust the amp envelope. Let's say we want this to come in later. We can adjust the attack, how long is it going to hold for, and our release time. Then we can load on some effects. Currently, there are 4 different effects that we can choose from: chorus, flanger, 2-band EQ, and a filter. And now when you load on one of these effects, you have access to all of its parameters right there on the screen as well. So let's wrap this up. The SP-16 is an impressive piece of kit. The workflow is quick and the workflow is really intuitive. I found both in the studio and that also in live gigs, it worked great and I really had no complaints. So I suggest you get out there, get your hands on one, see if it fits inside your workflow and let me know what you think. Until then, this is Stu G with DJ Tech Tools and I will see you guys in the studio.